Well, hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Renee, and I'm back, but not 100%. I know my husband put a note in my community tab. He told me that he wrote a note to you that I was going to be out of commission for who knows how long. But I did. I had, I don't know if it was a back injury or what it was, but I literally, I pulled my hips out of place, and as well as twisted my tailbone. And it's like a snowball effect with that. Then that created spasms in my side. I think I could have handled the pain from my hips and my tailbone, but the spasms almost killed me. I'm telling you, and I'm not one to take narcotics. So no pain meds, unless it was non-narcotic. They did prescribe me a anti-spasm medication that worked very well. But it just took a little bit. I did go to the chiropractor. He put my hips back in place. I got no relief at the hospital. Really, I didn't. My husband practically had to carry me to the hospital, just short of calling an ambulance. And they sent me home with Valium. They thought I was passing kidney stones. Well, it wasn't kidney stones. They did a, a CAT scan. And it wasn't kidney stones. So they said, oh, you just got some pulled muscles. Like I'm a big wine baby. Well, let me tell you, I can take pain. I got a high pain threshold. Literally, I can take a lot of pain. And I could not take that. I am not one to take anything like that, but they sent me home with Valium, and by golly, I took it. And I took one, and then it looped up my head, and I told my husband, I said, oh my God, I said, now I got a buzzed up head and spasms and all this pain, and just shoot me. Put me out of my misery. I just couldn't take it. So my husband, not knowing what to do, bless that man, I just love him. I couldn't even think straight. I was in so much pain, constant, nonstop, bawling and crying and screaming and moaning and groaning, the whole shebang. I just was like a big grown baby. I couldn't take it. And I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. And I don't have any enemies. But anyway, he took me to the chiropractor. He says, I don't know what else to do. I don't know, where to get her any relief, how to get her some relief. She just is horrid. Well, he, put me on his table. I stood there, and he practically carried me into his office or into his room, and put me on stood me up on the table and lowered the table. I thought that was going to kill me. I thought it was going to kill me. No matter what I did, no matter what little bit of movement I made, it just made the spasms even worse. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Anyway, he discovered my hips were out. My one hip was so bad it was almost out of socket. And I don't know what I did. I said, I don't remember hurting myself. I don't remember doing anything. In fact, I was mowing on my riding mower when it happened. Beats me. Anyway, he did his best to adjust it, and I'm telling you, after he adjusted it, I had maybe 1 or 2 spasms, and then it was like relief. And the spasms were the worst, but when those were gone, the rest was a walk in the park. So anyway, he adjusted me over a period of like 3 days. He adjusted my hips, put them up, got everything back in place, got my tailbone lined up, and I am good now. I just got a little bit of my muscles in my back where all the spasms were is a little sore. And of course, it's going to be like that for a little while. It takes a little bit for that to heal. But anyway, I am back, and I survived. And I thank God for my husband. He is the greatest husband ever. And I told my chiropractor, I said, you are a good man. You are amazing. And I could just hug and kiss you because you are the only one who gave me relief and who helped me through this. So he's in my back pocket. I am not getting rid of that man at all. I will go there every month for maintenance because I don't ever want to go through that again. And I am very active. I'm in my garden all the time. I'm out mowing my grass. You know, I'm always working with my chickens, my market stand. I got so much going on. I didn't have time for this. But you know what was wonderful is my family and my friends and my husband took extra time off so he could be with me all the time. Because I couldn't hardly do anything. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't cook. I couldn't hardly walk. But everybody come running to help me, and thank you everybody who helped me because that was horrific. My husband, bless his heart. Now, you know, I've changed my eating back in April, and I changed my whole, I don't want to call it a diet because I just changed the way I ate. And I am 42 pounds down as of today. And I think it is the 6th of September. So I am 42 pounds down. My husband, during the time, I mean, people would take care of my chickens, gather my eggs, soup up my market stand, you know, just pick in my garden. And my mother with a bad hip, she gets her hip surgery next week, by the way. She came down and when they picked my tomatoes in my garden, they picked, I think, a little less than a bushel. So there was a lot of tomatoes, and they were my San Marzanos. Well, she come down and she washed all those tomatoes, and she sliced them in half, put them in freezer bags, and put them in the freezer so that I could process them later when I'm better, and they won't go bad. Bless her heart. My God, she's wonderful, because I would have lost all those tomatoes. And what else was I going to say? Oh, my husband. He's so sweet. I just love him. He knows that he doesn't cook like I do. He doesn't, he has no idea what, how I cook and, you know, what I eat. Because he's always on the road, you know. And so come dinner time, he's like, he's got McDonald's in the refrigerator and Burger King in the refrigerator and Wendy's in the refrigerator. So he heats me up a burger and fries, and I'm like, I'm not going to say anything. I am so grateful that you are helping me. I ate it, I enjoyed it, and big deal. You know, that's life. So I lived on fast food for the last week. That's okay. Doesn't bother me a bit. Bless my husband's heart. He fed me. He took care of me. He cleaned up after me. He helped me in and out of bed. He helped me get dressed. He's my best friend, and I thank him. He's just a love. So I'm back. No pain, no spasms. I'm over that. Thank you, Jesus. I made it through. My garden, I got a lot to do. Yesterday was a good day. I mean, I've been okay for the last couple days, just moving a little slow. But my mother had already cleaned and cut all those tomatoes. So my husband had, before he left, he put my big old stock pot on the stove for me. And I filled it with all those tomatoes. And all the fresh ones, I was able to cut them in half, the new ones that they picked. So lo and behold, I processed all those tomatoes, 1.5 bushels, and I just kept adding them to my pot, just adding to my pot. I had and cooked them down. They cooked for like, what, I think yesterday I finally canned them. They cooked for about 36 hours. They simmered on my stove. Thick, beautiful, delicious tomato sauce. And I mean, it's thick. If it would have cooked anymore, I'd have had tomato paste. But beautiful. And I didn't season it at all because I figure, you know, you can pull that jar out of your pantry and you can add any spice to it and make any dish out of it. So you just got a base to build from. And 14 quarts. So I've got 18 quarts altogether. Just wonderful, beautiful sauce. Oh, I'm excited. I didn't lose them. That's a lot. That's a lot. That would be a big hurt. Um, my garden, it's almost done. The red noodle beans, I'm going to show you those, next time I go outside when I do a video. Um, I'm going to show you the red noodle beans. They're like 2.5 feet long, but I don't think it's a good idea to grow them here in Michigan, especially where I am at. I'm in zone 6B. I think we need a longer growing season for them. So it's going to start frosting here. Oh, probably another week and a half tops. We're gonna have our frost, and they'll die in the frost. So I got like a handful of them, and that's all I got. So I won't grow those no more. They're beautiful though. They grow and they just take over. I love it. On the trellises, they look so beautiful. But I won't grow them again because they need a longer season than what I have to grow in. I've sold so much in my produce stand. Yesterday I made eight loaves of bread and 5 loaves of zucchini bread for my stand. Because I know not yesterday. I'm still not with it here. Friday I did that. And because I knew the weekend would be busy, being Labor Day weekend. And usually every week after church, when church lets out, I get really busy at my produce stand because everybody hits it up on their way home. So, but all that, I don't, after this weekend, I only got a couple loaves of bread left, and it has sold beautifully. And I got a kick out of this gentleman that stopped there. Yesterday I had come outside. He was knocking on my front door, and I didn't hear him. And I come out the back door because I had to get a couple things off my clothesline. Well, I seen him walking away, and I said hello, and he come back and he says, "Oh my gosh," he says, "I just want to make sure I put enough money in your can." He says, "I got my wife your beautiful bouquet of flowers and some tomatoes." And I noticed he had not only, he took the mason jar, and there was like 3 bouquets of sunflowers and, in that mason jar full of water. He took the whole shebang, and I thought, bless your heart, just take it, So I didn't have the heart to tell him, "Oh, don't take my jar." And yeah, those are like 4 bouquets of flowers you got in there. I said, "You know what? You're good, buddy. I hope your wife enjoys those flowers." I said, "And if you remember, you can just drop that mason jar back off to me. If you need it, keep it though." It was cute. He was all excited. So I thought, boy, she's gonna have a ball with those flowers. They're beautiful. Been selling eggs like crazy. Breads, everything. That market stand this summer has been so successful for me. I thank the Lord, because I have made enough to subsidize everything I need to buy for my next garden season, and extra for all the time and work I put into it. So it's paid for itself. It's paid for the tent. I spent $200 on the tent. It paid for that the first week I put it up. It was just fantastic. So I will definitely do that again next year. I made, let's see, another thing I did, I don't usually do this, but I made whole grain bread. And I doubled the batch, but unfortunately I didn't double the yeast in it. So I didn't get a very good rise out of it. And I thought, what did I do wrong? And I'm not thinking straight. I'm still not healed. I'm trying to get through this, And I realized I didn't put enough yeast in there. That's why. So I took it. It was baked, but it didn't rise above the pan. But it was perfectly good. So I took it and I chopped all of it up, all 4 loaves, and I made it into beautiful seasoned croutons, and I put it out on a market stand, and they were gone within an hour. I couldn't believe it. I put them out there after I got them out of my dehydrator and packaged up, labeled, my homemade stickers on them, and they were gone in an hour. So that's something more I can add to that. and, make a little extra money. So I was real pleased about that. My garden is almost done. It's on its last leg. The only thing I'm getting now is pretty much just tomatoes, and my cabbages are coming in, and I'm going to be picking the rest of my, I'm waiting for the frost though. I want the frost to hit before I pick the rutabagas, because then it makes them just taste wonderful. Not that they won't taste good beforehand, but something about the frost gives them just a wonderful flavor. So with that, my herbs are all done. Everything's done. Everything's done. And now when I get completely healed from this, that's when I'm going to go out and I'm going to start ripping out dead plants and, amending my beds and getting things ready for next spring. There's a few things I'm going to throw in some of my Egyptian walking onion in sets now that they're dry. And Heidi, I didn't forget you, sweetheart. I am going to mail those out. I promise you. I'm going to give you a big old bag full of them just for your patience and waiting. So with that, not much else going on. Oh, I do got one announcement to make. I don't know if my husband felt so bad for me or what happened, but it just come out of the blue, and I'll tell you in a minute. My husband come home from work. Let's see, he come in, this was before I hurt myself, and I was looking on the computer. I love the freeze dryers. I've been wanting one for about 10 years, and they're just so expensive. The one I want's like $3,000, and it's just, I would love to have it, and it's just, absolutely, I would love to have it. I would utilize that. It would be my best friend. But every now and then I look at the freeze-dried food that I could order, and I was looking on Thrive, and thinking, boy, I should order some of that stuff, but it is a little pricey. And I try to stay, within my budget, and that's just not really within my budget right now. And I thought, gosh, that'd be nice. I'm thinking, so I'm looking at the Harvest Right freeze dryers, thinking, I wonder if any of them's on sale, or if you can get a used one, maybe I can look and see. And every now and then I dream. I mean, you can do this, every now and then I get on the computer and I dream of things that I would love to have that's just well beyond my budget. Well, my husband had come home. He didn't see me on the computer looking at that stuff, but he come home and he said, honey, he said, I know for the past 10 years you've been talking about something you wanted. He said, a freeze dryer. He said, and I was listening to a show, how, on the radio, how prices are going to go up. And meat's already, it's already risen beyond almost our budget. And he said, I want you to make an investment. And I said, what's that? What do you want to invest in? Because that's our nest egg. You don't want to spend your nest egg. He says, I want you to buy one of those freeze dryers. He says, but I don't want a small one. He says, I want you to get a medium-sized one. He said, the small one, it's just a waste of money. He says, the medium one is your best buy. He says, I want you to order it. And I said, really? Really? You want me to order one of those? I said, they're like $3,000. He said, yeah, I want you to order it right now. So I did. I got a freeze dryer coming. My husband bought me a freeze dryer. It was pricey. He said, I don't care. I want you to buy it. He says, I work like crazy. He says, I want you to have this. He says, it's going to do us a lot of good. He said, we can freeze dry pretty much everything. So I've got a freeze dryer coming, and it'll be here in 3 weeks. The videos I can make with that, the things I can share. And he said, you know what? Next summer you can sell some stuff. Look at you can freeze dry your entire garden, Renee. He said you can sell a lot of fresh produce. He says plus you can sell some of the freeze dried stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I can. So this freeze dryer could very well pay for itself. Might not be in one season because I mean, you can look on the website. I'm not gonna try and hide the price. There were $2,800, but over a course of a few years, it might pay half of itself, but it'll pay off for our family in no time, So, and then the family, they're like, well, do you want us to pitch in on that? And my husband's like, nope, 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 we got it. He says, I got this. He says, but when it comes time to freeze drying stuff, when meat goes on sale, he says, I expect meat. I expect all this other stuff. If you guys are going to, share in on this, he says, I'm not going to buy the freeze dryer and then provide all the food. He said, so when you see something on sale, I expect you to grab it and, put it in your freezer and save it for mom and she'll freeze dry it. So we're excited. I'm excited. My daughter's excited. My mother's ecstatic. She says, before it was hilarious because when I told my mom I'm getting that, she says, well, what the hell does that do? I says, what the hell does that do? I says, Mom, you can freeze dry a lot of food and it will last for 25, 30 years. And then I made the mistake. I made a mistake. I told my mom, I says, well, like the Army MREs, and she's like, oh, those things are disgusting. She says, you don't want to waste money on it. I said, well, it's not the Army MREs, but I just use that as an example. I says, that's a lot of freeze-dried food. And she says, oh, that's disgusting. I'm not putting no money in on that. I don't want none of that food. Well, now she's excited because I set her down and I showed her everything that you can do with it. And she's like, oh, I can't wait for that to come in. She says, that's going to be nice. So we got a freeze dryer coming. I'm excited. So I'll show you when it gets in. That'll be nice for next year. I can't wait. Well, you don't have to wait till next year, but for my garden produce, I can dehydrate a lot of that. But through the winter, when meat goes on sale, I can dehydrate meat. I can dehydrate. You can dehydrate anything except oily foods. Butter, and butter doesn't dehydrate. Anything with a lot of oil in it, you can't freeze dry. So I'm excited about that. Anyway, a little good and bad news. It's bittersweet for me. My daughter had put in an offer. I told you she was moving next door. Half of her stuff from her house is packed up and in my basement because when the house comes available, then she's going to move in there. And we were all excited. We're all excited about that. Well, she had put an offer in for a house, oh my gosh, a couple months back. Well, they called her up and they accepted her offer. So she won't be moving next door. That's the sad part about it. But she's got a beautiful 4-bedroom house that she's going to buy that is well within her budget. Everything she needs in Manistee. By her daycare provider. She's got a new gal because of course I can't lift the babies anymore. I just can't do it. And I was doing that. I was taking care of my grandbabies anywhere from 40 to 50 hours a week. I can't do it anymore. So she told me I was fired. I said, you're going to fire me? I said, that's like kicking me when I'm down. She says, no, Mom, I'm teasing. She says, but I'm not going to let you do that no more. I need you healthy and I don't need you to have any back injuries. She said, I've got a babysitter and it happens to be Tracy's granddaughter. And she's a doll. She's just a few blocks from my daughter. Even when she moves to her new house, she'll just be a few blocks away. And she's there all the time. So now I don't have kids. I can dive back in full time, hopefully get videos out every day or at least 5 days a week. And then we're going to do our family meals, our family night meals. I don't know which night it's going to be, but that will also be a video. And I know, friends, you have to bear with me. My mind is all over. I am going off on a tangent when I talk, and I am so sorry. I talk about this, I flip to that. It's because I've got so much rolling in my head, and my head is still not right. That medication that I took, that Valium, oh my God. I'm still not, I mean, from all that injury and all that pain that I went through, it just exhausted me, as well as my mind. So bear with me. You'll get tidbits of this and tidbits of that. I just speak it as soon as I talk about it, like I don't have a filter right now. So she's going to be moving into her new house probably, I think they're closing towards the end of this month. So that'll be good. Also, I joined a collaboration for September. So I'm going to do a really nice lentil soup video for that collaboration. So that'll come out at the end of September. I think the 4th Wednesday of this month, my video comes up. So I'm going to be working on that video this week too, to have that come up. And that's going to be a really nice lentil soup, and you'll all will love that. Anyway, I think I ran out of things to say other than thank you for being so patient with me. We do have a video because before I got hurt, I did a video, a tomato sauce video, so you'll see how thick and beautiful it is. I just was, of course, down and I couldn't upload it. It just needs to be uploaded, that's all. That's coming. I'm also going to do some easy artisan bread and some more whole wheat bread. And I'm going to do TV dinners. I got quite a few videos that are going to be coming up that I'm working on. So you're going to see a lot more of me. You're going to see less of my grandkids. I know it's sad, it's bittersweet for me because I absolutely love my grandbabies, but this is why older women don't have babies. I can come and they can come and visit me when we have our weeknight dinners. I'll cook for everybody. I'll cook whatever they want. I can love on the babies and they can go home. And I can just have some peace and quiet, and it's a blessing. Bittersweet, but it's a blessing. Anyway, you all have a wonderful day. Thank you for listening to me ramble on. And I will see you probably tomorrow. You'll see a video. You have a good day, friends. Thank you.